Sit down. Feeling better, sugar?
I'm supposed to avoid stress.
Well, I can understand that. You live a very stressful lifestyle. Liars usually do. But I've been warning you about that. I understand that you've been well enough to have visitors.
If Bobby told you that I was ugly to her,
Nope,
I wasn't.
nope. She told me you touched her. She told me you made her feel sorry for you, and that she now thinks of you as a human being. And that, little girl, has to stop. Do I know you at all?
Who else could even claim to?
From the time we were children, I've trusted you as I've trusted no one else in my life.
And I have loved you like?
Yes.
My brother.
When you were a girl, who brought you dinner and stayed with you when you were being punished by Helena?
You did?
Who tutored you and gave you books when you weren't allowed classes of your own?
You did?
Who paid for your college, your law school, and stood up to Helena so you could attend?
Stefan.
Have I ever failed you in any way, Alexis? Have I denied you anything? So, you betrayed me. For no reason.
Raising me up, I didn't do.
No? You didn't do? You didn't make these payments, did you? To George Papas? To the cemetery caretaker? To Mr. Soames of the State Department? To your friend Leo Voss? I was curious about these transactions, so I kept copies. I wouldn't necessarily breach your privacy, but your secrecy is another matter.
The things that you learned about your sister, Natasha, most of those are true.
What?
There's no evidence that she died.
She was never in this country. She was not raised in a place called Serenity.
George was honoring your father's wishes. It was Mikos who told him that no one in the family can be told.
His lies were bought and paid for by you, just like the others. Oh, yes. Oh, you planned it so meticulously. Spooning out the fabrications little by little, just leading me to reach the desired conclusion on my own. That my feelings for Catherine were unnatural, monstrous even.
I'll send for George. He can explain...
George is dead, and I hold you responsible! That's right. I called him here myself. Faced with his treachery, his disloyalty, the old man's heart gave out.
He didn't know anything about Catherine. He lied to protect your father's secret, not mine. I told him the money was a gift from both of us to give to his great-grandson. He wasn't disloyal to you, and neither was I!
So you feel bad, don't you, sugar? You feel like the chips are stacked against you. You're in this hospital bed. You almost lost your baby. You don't know if anybody gives a rat's whether you live or die or not. You're missing the care and comfort of sweet, poor, sweet, confused Virginia Benson, who you've told 10,000 lies to. But you know, you've told lies to everybody, so nobody knows who you are except Uncle Luke.
I don't remember sending out an SOS for you.
I can't save you, baby. Swim or die. All I know is we had an agreement you wouldn't mess with Bobby's head anymore, and now look what's happened.
What? What did I do? She was working on the floor, Luke. She came in, she was nice. I was nice, that was it. So I actually thought for about half an hour that the woman gave a damn whether I lived or died, and my baby was okay, and I was happy.
Just like your real mother, huh? Caroline, that life raft floated by a long time ago, and you chose not to jump on board. You chose to be a motherless child. So you got your wish. Live with it.
Fine, but let's talk about what's really going on. You are worried that Bobby's gonna find out that you've been lying to her, too.
Oh, don't worry about me, little girl. I have a lot of experience in falling into traps and climbing out of them. Right now, I'm functioning under a very unselfish thought. Yeah, if you live long enough, you might experience an unselfish thought. The one I'm working with right now is that there was a time when Bobby would have liked nothing more than to know the daughter that she was forced to give up. But that ain't you, Caroline. That ain't you anymore. See, this man-grabbing, psycho, lying creation of yours is all you, baby. It's all yours. So, I would rather that Bobby grieve over the daughter she lost than grieve over finding you. And I think that if you consider the alternatives, you will agree.
Don't worry about me. I don't look back. So Bobby and I didn't rip each other's heads off. So what? She was just being professional anyway, and I got my own baby now, you know? And I got Tony. That's my life. Bobby's not part of the picture, Luke.
So are you telling me you did not betray me? Is that what you're saying? My God, Alexis. How could you do such a thing to me? I've protected you your entire life.
You have always protected me. From Helena, from Stavros, from wasting my life like all the other Cassadine women in our illustrious past. You knew the threat to my safety and sanity better than I did.
This is how you repay me.
I saw a threat that you were blind to, and I moved you out of the way of it, the same as you have for me so many times.
What? Being loved by a woman I adored, that's something you thought I would want protection from?
I didn't know. I did everything I could to keep you from discovering it. And at no little cost to me, and I don't mean dollars, but I did it because I love you. And even if you hate me for it, I would do it all again. We came here with a plan, a purpose. And all of that disappeared the minute you met Catherine Bell.
My plan. My purpose.
And you gave it up for a woman who could have you arrested still at any given moment.
I've taken care of that.
No, we arranged for the gun that shot her to disappear. The forensics report, the ballistic studies, all those things still exist. Her testimony, Luke's testimony, Lucky's testimony,
so
all
now
of
you're
their
telling me
testimonies.
that you were saving me from prosecution. Is that why you've done all of this?
No. She knew how vulnerable guilt made you and decided to use that instead.
Oh, so now your defense is that this was Catherine's twisted scheme, not
You
yours.
couldn't see it. You couldn't see her for what she is. I'm not saying she's diabolical. She's not some brilliant deceiver. She's too weak-minded and lazy for that, but she does have a certain low animal cunning that has allowed her to trade all her adult life on the sexual desires of wealthy men.
Oh, do you think any part of Catherine's history was unknown to me?
Then why would you do it? You even let her manipulate Nicholas. What grown woman confined to a wheelchair allows some teenage boy to come over and change her bathrobe and exercise her legs? You would move heaven and earth for that boy. It took you how long before you even allowed him to meet his own mother? Yet you look on indulgently as Catherine insinuated her way into his life as his sister, as his girlfriend, as his mother.
Oh, that's enough.
Nicholas wasn't the only one who lost Laura, Stefan. You believe she was dead. And you felt responsible. And lo and behold, there's Catherine. She's blonde and beautiful and shimmering and wounded. And she was someone that you could nurse back to health. Meanwhile, at your orders, I found out everything that I could about Catherine. That she came to Port Charles in pursuit of an inheritance that she had no claim to. When that failed, she blackmailed Ned Ashton into marriage. Her next wealthy lover was murdered, a crime, ironically, that Laura Spencer was accused of, while Catherine was installing her next lover as commissioner of police. What more evidence could you possibly need? But you wouldn't listen to me. You wanted her, and when you want something, you are the most patient man on this planet. You don't flinch, you don't swerve until you have what you want. And I knew that you would have her, and there would be no stopping you. All I could hope to do was make you stop wanting her.
You failed.
I know. And every day was a torment to you. And I hated it. Because it meant giving up everything. My trust in you, and your trust in me, which was the one pure thing in my life. And now that faith is broken, and I broke it.
You'll forgive me for pointing out that it cost me something, too.
You are 10 times the man that your brother ever was. But the same thing that happened to Stavros could have happened to you. You could have been used and destroyed by a woman who didn't care anything at all about you.
Oh. So you felt you had no choice. You did it for me.
Yes, I did.
I've heard that sort of logic before. From someone with whom you have much more in common than my brother or I ever had. Yes, Alexis. Helena would be proud of you.
You know, Matt wouldn't have done what I did. She would have had her killed.
If you dare to harm her
For
in any way.
God's sake, what are you
I came in here one night and found her lying at the bottom of those stairs. With you over her. How am I to know anymore what you're capable of, Alexis?
What makes me so much worse than you? You made no excuse for deliberately creating a distance between Ned and me, and what was that for? Because it was inconvenient? Or because you thought that I would reveal some sort of inside business information? You can hate me for what I did, but you can't hate me for the reasons that I did it. What did I stand to gain? Nothing. In fact, I risked losing the one human connection that has sustained me my whole life. But I did it because I love you. And I still do.
I believe you.
Thank you.
It was wrong of me to compare you to my mother. You broke my heart. Goodbye, Alexis. You are dead to me. Do you understand that? Do you understand? Good. Your rooms will be emptied. Things will be delivered to the Port Charles Hotel by morning. You are not to return to this island. You will never again set foot in this house or any other Cassadine business or residence, including the one we grew up in. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
And go. And be grateful my revenge will not follow you out this door.
Look, AJ.
Barbara?
Luke, tell me something. What is this picture of Carly doing in your safe?
Away. Please. I did betray you, but there's more to it than that. I need to tell you everything. I need you, please. Please don't send me away.
Practicing your safe cracking techniques, or did I leave that safe door wide open?
Actually, Lucky opened it for me because I needed some money to pay the workmen at the brownstone, and he told me you always keep a few dollars in there.
Did you get what you need?
Actually, I did. And it fell out when I reached in for the money.
Yeah, that's her bad self, all right.
Mm-hmm. Picture of Carly. Why?
I have a good reason. Well, as long as I'm busted, I guess I may as well come clean. I knew the first time I laid eyes on Carly Roberts that something was up.
Oh, come on, Luke. When she first came to Port Charles, we were all completely charmed by her.
Hey, speak for yourself. She didn't sucker me in. All I saw was a stray pussycat who rubbed up against anybody who'd pet her. And then when she sank her claws into Tony, I got curious, so I did a little research.
When?
About the same time that you found her in bed with Tony up at that fishing cabin.
Oh, well, after he'd already started writing love songs to her? No offense, but don't you think you were a little late?
I was hoping I could find something that would help jerk his head out from under the covers. So I got these pictures of her in case I found any leads and somebody needed to be reminded of what she looked like.
So did you come up with something?
No. According to everything I could find, she's telling the truth about her past.
Luke, I don't have any problem with you checking Carly's background, but why didn't you tell me?
We weren't speaking at the time, remember?
You were researching Carly even when I was married to Stefan?
Well, call me cynical, but I had a strong suspicion that that happy union wouldn't last. And Barbara, no matter what we said to each other, I never stopped loving you.
I love you too. But you could have said something to me when Stefan and I were divorced.
Well, maybe I could have. But by then, you know, Tony had moved his trophy slut into an apartment. They were roommates, and I just figured the less you heard about Carly Roberts, the better off everybody'd be.
Well, you know, I'll admit there was a time when hearing something nasty about Carly probably would have made me feel pretty good, but in the end, I don't suppose it would have made much difference.
Why's that?
Well, because most people that you meet are in kind of a neutral zone. And there are those people that you really, really like, and you want to keep them in your life. And then there are those people that you really despise, and you never want to see them again. And for some reason, Carly has always managed to be both for me. I mean, there are times when she can be so awful. And then there are times when she can be so sweet.
Barbara.
And so vulnerable. You just want to reach out and protect
please.
her.
Anything sweet coming from her is sugar-coated poison.
Okay. I didn't expect you to understand.
I'm warning you. Don't start caring about Carly Roberts. I mean, that is a road to serious grief.
I know. No, it's not that my feelings about her have really changed. It's just that, I don't know. When I saw her in the hospital the other day and she was so scared about her baby, it brought back some of those original positive feelings that I had for her in the beginning. And I don't know why, but for some reason I'm finding that I'm drawn to her.
Sit down, Lorraine.
That I've hurt you. But I didn't tell you the entire story. And maybe it'll put things into perspective for you, and maybe it won't, but I really need for you to understand.
My decision is final. I have no need to revisit it.
I know that you don't feel that you owe me anything, but don't you owe it to yourself to at least hear what I have to say?
You're a proven liar. What you have to say is irrelevant.
I could come back some other time when you're ready.
This isn't a court of law, Alexis. I'm not a judge. You can petition for a continuance.
Stefan,
no, I will not hear you out.
We've known each other our whole life.
I'm aware of that, and I expected you to be as well.
I never meant to hurt you.
So you're finished.
May I come in and get a few of my things?
You've taken enough from this house already. I suggest you make it back to the mainland and remove any thoughts of reconciliation from your mind. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have more important matters to address.
Okay, time out. I have had all of the Carly conversation I can take for one evening.
Fine with me. Let's talk about something else. Why did global warming start, and when are we going to do something about it?
Do you consider that an improvement?
You choose a topic.
Okay. You're not going to like it.
Try me.
Caroline.
What about her?
Well, you know, Luke, when that picture first fell on the floor, I thought that was going to be a picture of Caroline, sent by Virginia Benson, and I was thinking that fate had just led me right to it.
No, what led you to the safe was the need for cash and the fact that you've got workmen over at the brownstone on the clock.
Oh, I know, but I just can't stop thinking about those pictures, and it's just killing me not knowing what she looks like. And sometimes I start thinking that maybe I ought to just look, you know, and then just deal with it.
Barbara, she's gone. You didn't know her, and you're not going to. It'd be a lot better if you just accepted that.
You know, try.
I know. Look, since you've got workmen on the clock, shouldn't you get over there and give them their money?
Oh, actually, they're working late because they want to finish up. And if everything looks good, I'm moving in tomorrow.
Oh, really? Well, you need help moving?
No, thanks. I've got it covered. But I would like to know if you and Lucky are coming over for Thanksgiving dinner.
That depends on who else is invited.
Ah, didn't anybody ever tell you it's very rude to question a hostess about her guest list?
Yes, you did last time I questioned your guest list.
Okay. It's Lucas, of course. Felicia, the girls, Mac, and I invited Ruby, but she said she might have to stay at Kelly's to supervise.
What kind of bird are you basting?
Free range.
Stuffing?
Chestnut. And if you ask me about the dessert, I'm going to rescind the invitation.
Nope, the chestnut did it. We'll be there. It'll be a great evening.
It will. You know something? In spite of everything that's happened in the last year, I think we have a lot to be thankful for.
As long as I'm breathing, I'm thankful. Of course, things could always be better.
Oh, anything in particular you'd like to fix?
Oh, no, my life would be almost perfect if I could just get a certain head of Greek feta off my plate.
You just can't give that a rest, can you?
No, not when I'm about to blow the whole Cassadine thing right out of the water. You know, those financial statements that I found in the wall at Windermere, the ones that look a lot like Alexis is paying somebody off and not telling Stefan about it. I've been working on the codes.
Any luck?
I'm getting closer every day. What I'm asking the computer to do here is run all the possible combinations of these bank codes. Trying to figure out who Alexis has been transferring this money to.
Is it really that easy?
No, but nothing worthwhile is it?
You know, I don't expect you to let go of your feud with the Cassadines, but I still don't understand why the person that Alexis gave the money to is so important to you.
Because she's kept it a secret from Stefan, Bobby. That means that there is a rift between them that these numbers can somehow explain. And if I can figure it out, then I can make it worse. And then while they're duking it out internally, I have the upper hand.
You know they're supposed to be leaving Port Charles.
Yeah, that's all the more reason to try and do this as fast as possible. You know, I'm probably just going to get eye strain out of this. But if there's even the smallest chance that I can... Whoa, wait a minute. Now we're getting somewhere.
Hey, did you see the tree that blew down? The wind cracked it right in half.
No. I must have missed that.
How? It was laying right in the middle of the main path.
Well, I'll have the groundskeepers remove it then.
What's wrong?
Nicholas, I'll explain everything, but when we have more time.
Oh, right, like on a plane back to Athens. I already told you I'm not going.
Our return to Greece has been canceled, but there's no need to go into it any further right now.
Oh, is it Alexis convinced you to stay?
Not directly.
I knew she didn't really want to go. Wait, do you know when she's coming back home? Because I'd really like to know how she did it.
Nicholas, we won't be seeing Alexis again. As of this day, she's dead to us.
You know, the best thing, dead to us. Don't you think that's a little harsh?
No.
Well, what did she do?
Nicholas, I promise I will tell you everything, but not now.
You've just told me that our cousin no longer exists. What could be more important than explaining the reason?
I need to find Catherine.
What for?
I know that you're aware of my estrangement from her. I found out it was orchestrated by Alexis. Yes. And if I'm to undo the damage she's done, I need to see Catherine immediately.
Well, did you try her penthouse?
I did. It was empty. Apparently she's moved.
No, she hasn't just moved. She's left Port Charles for good.
Look, Evan, you're looking like you just discovered a website that's giving away money.
I accidentally broke the bank codes. Now, if my luck holds, maybe I can figure out who she's made all these money transfers to. You know, these numbers that you said might be employee ID numbers. Let's try one of those. Run that one through. Hey, look, that corresponds to a George Pappas. Does that name mean anything to you?
Not really. I mean, I did hear them talking about a George a couple of times, but I think he was a longtime family servant who lived back in Greece. I never got a last name, but I suppose that could be him.
No, it's possible, but a longtime family servant might be corrupted by, loyalty. Let's try somebody else. Kenneth Soames. Does that name mean anything to you?
Never heard of him.
All right, well, let's see what we got on him. Employer, U.S. government, State Department. We'll get back to you, Mr. Soames. I wonder what that means.
What?
Alexis has made a large transfer of money to somebody. The name isn't here, but this person works at a cemetery not far from here. Now, apart from digging up playmates for Count Dracula, why would she be making payments to somebody who works in a cemetery?
Beats me.
And why isn't she telling Cousin Vlad about it?
I give up, Luke. Why?
I don't know. Yet.
Nicholas, try to remember, did Catherine say anything, make any chance remark that might indicate where she was heading when she left Port Charles?
Well, I got the feeling that she wasn't really sure herself, but that I'd be hearing from her eventually once she settled somewhere.
Edward Quartermain might be at the hospital by now. He had a meeting scheduled this morning.
Oh, come on, don't go now.
Nicholas, she might have confided her intentions in him.
Uncle, do not brush me off like this. Not again. Now, either I'm a member of this family or I am not a member of this family. Now, if Alexis is suddenly dead to us, then I need to know why. Or if she's done something to hurt Catherine, I deserve to know about it right here, right now.
Nicholas, I am not avoiding this discussion because I don't respect your place in the family, but I must find Catherine now.
Well, fine, I'll ride with you. You can tell me on the way.
All right, let's go.
Natasha Nielsen. 5 years she grew? 5 years. Oh, 5 years. 5 years.
Excuse me, do I know you?
Good morning, Mr. Smith.
I don't recall. It's a bit nippy this morning to be paying you respects, isn't it?
Well, I'm actually paying respects for somebody else. Alexis Davis. Poor little tyke. Only 5 years she grew.
Miss Davis sent you here for any special reason?
Well, that's fairly obvious, don't you think, Mr. Smith? I'm here to check up on little Natasha's grave, and it's a good thing, because it's obviously been tampered with. The sod is fresh, and under it, the earth is not tamped very tightly.
Miss Davis knows all that. She's the one who had...
She's the one who had what, Mr. Smith?
She's the one who insisted on constant upkeep. And of course, proper maintenance of the grounds requires major replanting from time to time.
By my records, she wrote you a check for 25,000 clams. That's a lot of replanting on this tiny, pitiful little plot, don't you think, Mr. Smith?
Miss Davis didn't have any complaints. I mean, who are you anyway, her accountant?
Something like that. By my accounting, it looks to me like she's been given a ride around the boneyard here. Unless sod around here goes for like $1,000 a foot.
There was some intensive labor involved here. The entire plot had to be redug more than once.
What did you say? Dug up? Dug up? Mr. Smith, you dug up this poor little tyke? What kind of ghouls are you?
Better watch who you're calling names.
Did you open this little tyke's coffin?
If you have any questions or objections, you better take it up with Miss Davis. I've said all I'm gonna say right now.
Wrong, Mr. Smith. That's very wrong. Because if you dug up this child from her final resting place, I'll have you arrested for illegally exhuming a little tyke.
I didn't illegally exhume anything.
Did you open the coffin?
No. Yeah. Well, yeah, but it doesn't really matter because there wasn't really a body inside in the first place.
We may as well wet our whistles. This is gonna be a long story.
It was long rumored in our family that my father had sired a child out of wedlock. A daughter.
I knew that my grandfather Mikos had mistresses, but I never heard anything about a daughter. Well, I guess that would make her your half-sister, right?
Yes. Nicholas, everyone knew that such a child would be in grave danger from your grandmother. Now, Alexis knew I was aware of this rumor. She used it to fabricate a series of coincidences and discoveries that led me to believe that this girl, my sister, was not only alive, but that she had grown up to become Catherine Bell. The first discovery was of an old photograph of the mistress, Kristen, which bore a striking resemblance to one I'd seen of Catherine's mother. For the simple reason that it was Catherine's mother. Alexis had stolen the photograph, had Leo Vaz alter it, and then arranged for me to make the connection on my own.
My God. You sure?
Yes. Alexis spent a small fortune bribing people, including old George, who came here and told a tale of Kristen and her little girl being spirited out of Greece to save their lives. Also, a State Department official who provided the forged documents proving that they had in fact emigrated to the United States and had gone to live in a place called Serenity. She also bribed a cemetery worker who planted a child's coffin in a grave, then accepted a large sum from me to dig it up.
Why? What child?
The forged records indicated that my sister, Natasha, had in fact died here at age 5. Now, it occurred to us that Kristen might have feigned her death to permanently escape Helena's wrath, in which case the grave would only be a decoy. Alexis accompanied me to the cemetery, stood by, and watched while I opened this child's coffin. It was empty. Final proof that my sister was alive. And I believed she was Catherine Bell.
Did you tell Catherine?
I wanted to. Alexis convinced me that Catherine would be in mortal danger from your grandmother, so we kept silent.
I don't understand. Why would Alexis do something like this?
She claims she did it because Catherine is unworthy of me. She knew I wouldn't give her up on my own.
How did you finally learn the truth?
I came across a financial record showing transfers of large sums of money from Alexis's account into the accounts of her various and sundry accomplices. With that information, I was able to unravel her Byzantine conspiracy.
How could you be so wrong about someone? I knew Alexis was devious, but never against us.
Well, she had no right to play God with my life. I must find Catherine. She has to know. This will be fine. Mackenzie will take you wherever you want to go.
Hey, I feel a lot better knowing the truth. Nothing ever really made sense to me before. So I was afraid to trust anyone.
I deeply regret that. I have so many regrets. I hope that Catherine will listen to the truth. I've done nothing but make her despise me.
I don't think she despises you. I hope you find her.
Thank you.
I'm not...
What's up?
Thanks for coming so quick. Actually, I just wanted to make sure you and Lucky were still planning on joining us at the Brownstone for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I told you we were. Unless you've changed your mind. You know, the four of us could always order ribs and pizza.
You know, I know you guys are really into this fraternity kind of thing, but, you know, it wouldn't kill you to sit down at a real table and eat real food, like with utensils.
All right. Do we have to bring anything?
Actually, I would love a jug of apple cider. Can you handle it?
Sure, I can handle that. In fact, I just passed a stand out on Route 17 that was selling it fresh by the gallon.
Oh, what were you doing all the way out on 17?
I had an errand.
Oh, get it done?
See you later, Barbara.
Luke?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're coming for dinner.
Oh,
Mwah.
me too.
You, been digging somewhere. Where?
Oh, a tiny little plot of land upstate.
A little plot of land upstate, huh?
Yep. I'm thinking of retiring there.
So you went to the cemetery, and did you find the man that Alexis paid all the money to?
Yeah, but I haven't figured it all out yet.
Oh, well, talk to me. Maybe we can figure it out together.
Well, I'm not sure I want to talk to you about it, Barbara.
Why?
Because it involves a child, a little girl, who supposedly died.
Supposedly?
Yeah, I don't even know if she ever existed, frankly, but, you know, that's a very sensitive area for you, and I just don't feel like punching all your bruises.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but I am not going to fall apart. Now, what did you find out?
Well, I found out that Alexis paid this guy to dig a grave and put a headstone on it.
Whose grave?
The headstone says Natasha Nielsen. 5 years she grew.
Who is she?
Nobody. The grave was empty.
You telling me you dug it up?
Oh, no. This is just from feeling around in the sod. The sod is all fresh on this grave.
Then who?
Alexis hired Frankenstein's sidekick, Igor, or whatever the hell his name is, to dig a grave, put an empty coffin in it, put the headstone on, and then she brought Stefan there, apparently knowing that he would insist that the grave be dug up and that the coffin be brought up and opened. And when they opened it and it was empty, the Count flipped out. Is this weird or what?
So weird. What does it mean?
I don't know, but I'm loving it. I don't know yet. Oh, the Bon Voyage party was moved to the morgue. Don't forget your sunblock.
Barbara, have you seen Edward Quartermain?
I'm right here. Keep your shorts on.
Well, it's getting a little close in here, shall we? We'll have our ears to the door if you need anything.
So, what do you want?
I need to know where Catherine is.
Years ago, when I was in Africa, I watched a pack of wild dogs attack their kill. And you know, that wasn't nearly as savage as what you did to Catherine Bell in that boardroom. Now you come back here saying that you have to find her. What for? To finish the job?
Edward, I understand your anger. The fact is, none of it should have happened.
You're damn right about that. She should never have gone anywhere near you.
Edward, I don't have time to go into details. As for what happened at the board meeting, I plan to make a full public apology and reinstate Catherine immediately. Now, if you want
to make amends to Catherine, then you stay the hell away from her. She'd be crazy to come back here if you were anywhere around. And why are you around anyway? You said you were going back to Greece. And the board has spent weeks planning for the pleasure of your absence. And now, whoop, here you are again.
Well, the situation has changed, and all you need know is that I am staying in Port Charles, and I must see Catherine. Please, do you know where she is?
No, I don't. And as far as I'm concerned, the farther away from you, the better.
Sorry about
Lansbury found this. It was left behind, accidentally.
Thank you. Clearly, you've spoken to your uncle. Nicholas, I would like to have the opportunity to explain...
Save your breath, would you? I'm not interested in hearing any more of your lies or any more of your excuses.
You've always been fair. Even when you're angry, you were the one born with compassion. I don't know how that happened in this family, but for God's sake, don't lose it now. Don't act like him. Be yourself, Nicholas. You would always listen. Please.
How could you?
I couldn't just stand by and let Stefan make the worst mistake of his life. Catherine would have destroyed him. She is a dangerous woman. You don't even know her history. She almost ended up behind bars several times.
Stop it. Do you know how pathetic you sound right now? Whatever Catherine was is not who she is today. I don't even know her.
No, Nicholas, you don't know her. I'm telling you.
You should have let him make up his own mind. You have no right to make decisions for us about who we can love, Alexis.
Nicholas, please.
Stop. I can't even listen to you for one more second. I can't even look at you.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving!
Bobby, it's your annoying neighbors.
Felicia, ignore him and come on in. I'm in here setting the table. All right, come on, let's come and take our coats off.
They brought pets. I don't think the big one's been neutered.
Hi.
See, this is Foster, but I call him Skillet Head. Because of this flat spot here, he can balance a frying pan on it. He does it. Lucky taught him to do that. Anyway, he won't bite you unless you bite him first, right? But if he drools on you or something or gets a little annoying, just send him out to play in traffic.
Foster's sure ugly. Huh. He tried to eat Lester's hardest cat for Thanksgiving, but Lucky saved it and took it home. Hey, Foster, you want to eat Georgie instead?
Would you mind putting... They look and smell wonderful.
Oh, thanks. I put the rolls in the oven 5 minutes ago. Anything else you want me to take downstairs?
Well, actually, thanks, but I think we're fine.
Oh.
Oh, no, that's Ruby and Amy. Would you let him in for me?
Did you make it?
Oh,
No?
yeah, I made that.
Oh, well, whoever made it just the way Laura makes it, with molasses.
Molasses.
Yeah, I'll get it to her.
We only got through to Switzerland twice today.
Oh, surprised the Cassadines didn't take over the phone company.
Oh, believe me, if Stefan had thought of it.
Hello? Doc Bro, ex-in-law? Carly?
Dad!
Hey, yeah, big boy.
Well, hi. Come on in.
Oh, thank you.
Look! Socks with turkeys on them!
So I see.
Can I go put them on?
Sure you can.
Wasn't that Foster we saw running down Central Avenue?
You said he could go play in the traffic.
Max, will you let the dog out?
No, that's all right. He's probably searching for Lucky.
Can we go watch Lucas change his socks?
Just don't get too close.
Okay, come on. Wait, don't put them on yet! Sweet fries!
Do you even realize how weird you are?
We just wanted to come by and wish you happy Thanksgiving, and I wanted to give Lucas his traditional turkey-themed gift.
Well, obviously he loved it. You don't have to rush off, do you?
Actually, we're going out.
Oh, well, take a look around. You're out. So, would you like to stay for dinner?
It was very nice of you to ask us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, but really, we can't.
Why not? There's plenty of food.
Well, you know, you have plans, and we have plans.
Actually, I really had planned to invite you earlier. I'm sorry, I just didn't.
Well, we have this reservation anyway, and we've had it for a long time. They're really hard to get on Thanksgiving, so...
Barbara, they have reservations.
Look, you know me. I'm polite, but only to a point. I'm not saying this just to be nice. I really think it's time we set some precedents. Our children are going to be siblings. And that means we're going to be family, whether we like it or not. And your child is going to be as welcome in this house as I know Lucas is going to be in yours. So if we want them to spend holidays together, then I think we're going to have to get used to doing that too. And I think we could use a little practice, don't you?
Ah, you're right. Of course, we'll stay.
I'll get it.
Thank you.
But there's apple cider and there's punch. It's not spiked, but it's spikeable.
Well, thank you very much, Barbara. Now I won't be able to chew the bird. I'll be so busy grinding my teeth over the stray you invited to the table.
Stop.
Thank you.
Mom, look who's here. Hello.
Hello there, come on in.
Hello.
Hello, Ashley.
Hello. Happy Thanksgiving.
Amy, I love you, but don't start. I don't want to hear it, not today. Hi,
Hello,
Happy
happy Thanksgiving.
You're looking very glamorous.
Folks, it's Thanksgiving, which is as good a day as any to stuff ourselves with a really heavy meal. Here's to hope, happiness, health, humanity, and humility.
Humility?
I heard good things about it.
Oh.
Here. Yeah, darling.
Hi. Potatoes.
Wonderful. Just waiting for the okay. Here we go.
Get your plates,
Yeah.
Ooh,
Thanks.
Really good food.
Thank you, thank you.
Love
Yay, Joseph. Want me to help you?
Pull it off for me.
Here you go, some green beans.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me a minute. I'm going to get a small one.
Okay, and you want some eggs? You want some green beans?
Make sure you get some beans and veggies on that plate.
Yeah.
And a lot of turkey.
Okay, and here's potatoes coming up.
Put your napkin in your lap.
You can
Cold weather makes my eyes itch.
Yeah, it does that to me, too.
You are really good at this, you know, bringing all these people together, making everybody feel like they're part of something.
Well, you know, I really love all this corny holiday stuff.
You make it look so easy.
You'll get the hang of it.
We'll see.
Are you sorry you stayed?
No. Are you sorry you invited me?
No. I guess that's about as far as we should go on our first Thanksgiving.
It's been cooking all day, and it is delicious. Hey, all the food, huh?
I thought it was Foster scratching at the door.
Isn't that Edward's dog?
It's Annabelle.
It's Annabelle, all right. She's probably looking for Foster, and he is so over you, baby.
Luke, what does it say?
Yeah, let's see. Most of it's pretty smeared up with doggy drool. There's 2 words I can read. Quartermain's thieves! Exclamation point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Annabelle, tell us something we don't already know. Huh?
It's on the neighbor's roof. You know, and I was thinking, you know, where am I going to get a 3-story ladder? I mean, of course, you know, Mrs. Hardy doesn't have one, so you're not even going to believe this.
Oh, we might believe it. You know, we're old. Our brain cells are dying by the billions.
You know the firehouse down on Yale Avenue?
Yucky. You used a fire truck ladder?
Yeah, and when I was on the roof there, these girls were screaming, you know, and I was, so I ran down the ladder, and Foster had a snake.
Ooh. Wow. Ooh. Was it a frozen snake?
Yeah. Why not?
If you need a lift to Fantasy Island, Miss Davis, I'd be happy to row you over.
The same ocean liner with you, let alone a boat across the lake.
Hmm. Don't trust yourself?
That's certainly part of it. One-on-one, no one to stop me. Would be all I could do to keep from beating you with an oar.
Well, you always hurt the one you love.
If it's all the same to you, I'd really appreciate it if we could not communicate in song titles this morning.
Okay, let's talk straight. I hear the house of Cassadine is about to fall because of self-interest on all sides. I'm here to see what I can do.
To hasten the fall?
No, to help. To help you, Miss Davis. I'm on your side. You've always been my favorite, Cassadine.
Aw, you're ridiculous. And delusional.
Really? I'm delusional? Then why is it that you're standing here staring off at castle catacombs like you'll never smell its dank halls again?
I came here to think. You should try that sometime.
My sources tell me that there's big trouble between you and the big feta. Things have turned sour. What say you?
I say you should get new sources.
Trouble is, nobody seems to know what the battle's about.
If there were a battle between Stefan and me, I can assure you it would be private.
Uh-huh. Like his breakup with Blondie, that was a brass band marching right down Main Street.
That was different.
Have you noticed how your cousin has trouble hanging on to female companionship? Bobby, Blondie, you, even his own mother, Helena, eventually every woman of note takes a powder on this guy.
I'm not companionship to Stefan. I'm family.
Yeah? Then how come Lord of the Flies is alone on the dung heap and you're ordering room service from Port Charles Hotel?
Are you watching me?
Like a hawk.
Why?
You're my hobby. Some watch birds.
Knock it off, or I will get a restraining order.
I'm worried about you. Little bird. You're standing alone against 2 vultures. That, of course, assumes that my wife's big mistake is standing with his uncle.
This has nothing to do with Nicholas.
What has nothing to do with Nicholas? Come on. You need a shoulder. I got two.
Thanks. But I have all the shoulders I need right now.
Well, if you're hoping Ned Ashton will write in and save you at the last moment, take a look at the record. He's not very impressive on that front.
I came here for a nice, quiet walk on the waterfront. Now, you move or I will.
I'm tossing you a life preserver, Miss Davis. Grab it.
Arranged.
Why is it every time it gets interesting between us, you walk off, little sister?